Hello, Young. How are you?
I am awesome. I'm so excited to be here with you.
I am so excited for this conversation. Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday if you're watching this live, or I hope you're having a great day when you're watching this on the replay. I'm so excited to have Young Pratt here to have a conversation about visibility and how to get in touch with our bodies when we work through becoming visible, especially with designing courses or other learning experiences. Young is a movement and embodiment guide. Could you tell us a little bit about what that means for you?
Yes, so in my world, um, I help people to be more visible, but not in a traditional sense. We really use our bodies to unlock what may be holding us back from being visible so that we can access more of our voices and we can feel joyful and confident when we are visible in places like courses or any other place in the world.
I love that. You blend movement, energy work, and entrepreneurship in such a unique way. Um, how did you first realize that embodiment and business belong in the same conversation?
That is a great question, and I think it's taken me a long time to get here. So I'll just lay that right out there. I've been an entrepreneur for more than 20 years now, and I started off as a professional dancer, opened a studio, did lots of other things in the online space. And then, probably in the past 3 or 4 years, what I've seen in the online space and what I've seen in the ways that people show up is that there's a lot of shoulds in the world, and a lot of us are holding emotions and feelings like shame and guilt for not showing up in certain ways, and so we just don't. So as an entrepreneur, part of us being in the world sharing our messages is being visible. So when I really sat with myself and really thought about the ways in which I wanted to be visible, I felt my body reacting negatively to being seen. And when I investigated that further, it really has to do with, your body holds all your memories, it holds all the emotions, it doesn't forget any experience you've ever had. So for me, growing up, there were a lot of experiences where when I would show up, I was either asked to not be so much, or maybe on the flip side, to show up differently than myself, right? So there was a lot of acting, I would say, and a lot of us do this, especially as women. We take on these roles and responsibilities, and we show up in ways that others expect us to show up or that we feel obligated to show up. So in my work, it's really about taking all that off, like unmasking yourself, taking off the superwoman costume and allowing yourself to just be you. Because how often do we actually get to be just ourselves? It's so rare. And so when it comes to entrepreneurship, I saw people really showing up as versions of themselves that they thought they had to be, not who they were really being. So my work really helps us to cross the bridge between who we are on the inside and allowing that version of ourselves in all of its messiness to show up in the outer world.
Yeah, I like that. And that is something that I come across with working with people who are building their courses because there are so many different um, aspects of launching a course or launching a membership or any type of learning because you have to market and you have to, there's tech involved and there's finances involved. So there are all these different points where people can get triggered. Their anxieties and the things they're uncomfortable with can be triggered. So even if you're comfortable with, the marketing place piece, maybe you're really uncomfortable with the tech piece. And so people get to those points in the course creation process and they get their bodies stop them.
Mhm.
And not to mention the fact that I've always been a teacher. Yeah, and so that part has never been difficult for me, the teaching part, but I've noticed by working with other women that it becomes very vulnerable because they are giving something of themselves that they don't normally do. and it becomes a very vulnerable thing. So that in its teaching itself can be its own sticking point of their body going, I'm not comfortable. How can we help them? What is something that they can do when they're reaching that point where they're just like, "Oh, I want to do this, but my body is saying it's not safe."
Yeah, and there's lots of different ways to approach this because for each of us, when it comes to being seen, whether we're sitting down to look at our books, like you said, because for me, I know that's a place where my body tends to really contract and not feel safe because it's not some I'm learning more about that. But we all have different stories and beliefs that we have in our bodies. And in order to allow our bodies to be part of this process of teaching, of creating, of being seen, we first need to recognize what our body is doing, right? So if you notice a lot of times it's contraction. Renee, you shared earlier on a different conversation that when you go to be visible, sometimes you feel it in your gut and then your body contracts around this central place, right? And your physical body becomes smaller so that everything our our vision contracts, our ideas contract, and we feel really vulnerable and not enough to share from that place. So we actually have to work with our bodies and practice taking up space. I mean, even the simple act of standing or sitting or laying on the ground, feet wider than your hips, arms out in the air, making this beautiful X to really take up space because there's a discomfort in that taking up space. So the more we can practice doing that and then help us to get out of our left brain dominance, which society tells us, scientific method, everything is logical, there's a reason for everything. A lot of us are not wired like that. So we need to be able to access the more creative parts of our brain. And even going from this big position here, crossing the midline of your body with either your arms or your legs helps us to reintegrate both hemispheres of our brain, get them both online, gets our bodies online. And from that expanded state, we can then start creating. Then we can really start to sense in our bodies, allowing whatever messages want to come through to help guide our hands, our fingers, whatever it is we're creating to help us be more visible. So it really starts with sensing and noticing what you're feeling, getting curious about it, and then just the simple act of taking up more space and allowing your body to reintegrate your brain. Like, it takes 10 seconds and we can all do it. And if this sounds simplistic, I understand. The world has made us believe that everything we experience in order to have the success we desire has to be difficult and it has to be
Yeah.
really effortful. And so when we can start opening our eyes and our ears and our bodies to the idea of what if it was just simple? And our bodies already are craving that. So again, tuning in,
Yes.
allowing your body to share messages with you.
Yeah. Could you lead us through just like a short exercise because I love what you said about reconnecting our left and right hemispheres because it really does they're the different pieces of showing up visibly with a course, the showing up and the logistics of putting it together. It really does require you to use your whole brain, your whole self in order to bring it from idea to live and making an impact.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm gonna create a little scenario for us so we can all get practice in feeling our bodies and what it does. So if you just take a moment, shake out your body, just allow yourself to be in this moment with us together and allow whatever wants to be shown to you or felt by you come through. So here is the scenario. I want you to imagine your 9-year-old self sitting in a classroom. I know most of us probably went to public school or some sort of schooling that was structured. Imagine yourself sitting in this classroom and the teacher calls your name. And I want you just to notice where in your body you might have a strong sensation. It could be that your mind starts spinning. Maybe you feel tightness in your belly. Maybe your body contracts in on itself. Just notice. And once you have that feeling locked in, I want you just to let your body sit with that feeling and what it naturally wants to do. Take another breath. And now we're going to do the opposite of this. Whatever your body is doing, it is likely in some sort of contracted state. Maybe your head is down, maybe your head is hanging lower, maybe your body is curling in on itself, or you're shrinking down in your chair because you don't want to be seen. We're going to do the opposite of that. So we're going to uncurl our bodies from this expanded state. I want you now just to tighten up everything. You're going to squeeze your fists, you're going to squeeze your toes, you're going to squeeze all of your muscles as tightly as you can. You can even pucker up your face and like squeeze your face. And then when I count to 3, you're just going to relax it all and let it go. 1, 2, 3. And even just noticing what your breath does when you stop holding on so tight. There's that exhale. And now we're going to move this exhale into something bigger. We're going to assume this beautiful position that I call the X position. So if you're sitting, you can do this too. You can just widen your feet out. If you're standing, this works beautifully. If you're laying down, that's awesome as well. And we're just going to take one hand out to the diagonal, the other hand out to the diagonal. And if your shoulders are bothering you here, just know that you can do this with your arms down a little lower. Do what you need to do. This is your experience of expansion. And we're just going to breathe here. We're going to be here for just a moment. And I want you to imagine that past your fingertips, there's this beautiful light from the inside of you shining out through each of your fingertips. So your fingers are spread really, really wide. Same with your toes. You are spreading your toes on the ground. You can wiggle your feet on the ground. You're really allowing yourself to drop into this moment. On your next inhale, I want you to lift your chin just slightly, lifting your chest up to the sky. And just imagine that up above, there's this beautiful white light. You can imagine the sun or any other beautiful light that you like. And imagine all of it just showering down on your body. And as it hits your body starts to shimmer and shine, almost like little pieces of glitter landing on your skin. And I'm thinking about the movie with the vampire where he shines in the sun, Twilight. I think that's the image I'm getting. So imagine you're Edward Cullen and you're out in the light and you're shimmering and sparkly, allowing this light to just like flood over your body, covering every inch of your body. And as it does, it is taking with it anything that in your body that wants to keep you small. We're practicing taking up space. We're practicing letting our light shine. Even if we are the only ones in our rooms, we are taking up this beautiful space, shining the front of you, shining the back of you, the sides of you, all in all directions. You can even actually start to twist your torso gently, knowing that when we move in all directions, our body starts to see more possibilities. So when it comes to creating courses and being more visible, being possibility oriented, being possibility minded, while moving your body to make that possible is a beautiful practice for you. And now allowing your arms to drop if they already haven't, allowing your body just to feel the space you're taking up. Notice what your mind is doing in this moment. Allow yourself to smile and just feel this expansion of yourself, whether you're sitting, standing, or lying down. Take one more breath, and then when you're ready, you can let your eyes flutter open if they're closed, or just allow your gaze to come fully back to the screen. Hmm. Thank you, Renee, for allowing me to share that.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. That felt so good. I mentioned to you before we hopped on that I don't do run host conversations or do lives very often, and so I was feeling a little uncomfortable. So now it feels so much better um, to be here and be present. And of course, it's always easier to be present with someone else. This has been amazing, and I love that you gave, like, this is a great exercise if if you're in the middle of the designing or creating process and you feel yourself, your mind starting to spiral, whether it's because you have to decide what content to put in or how to structure it, or you're just agonizing, is this the right thing for my people? Is this what they need? Anytime you start to feel that anxiety or that clenching of your gut, to come back to this exercise and do it on your own.
Mm.
Really,
And Renee, I would invite you to go back to even watch this video again, because it's amazing how the visual of who you are looked at the beginning of our call versus what it looks like now. Like, there's a new radiance. So for anyone out there, if you're doubting this process for yourself, I invite you to take a picture before you, if you're feeling this negative downward spiral, you're feeling your body contract, take a photo, take a selfie. I know it might be weird. Just trust me here, please. And then do this simple exercise. Take, 30 seconds, take 3 minutes, take more time if you have it, and then take a picture of yourself afterwards and just notice how a few moments of your time, of your intention, of you listening and dropping into your body changes how you feel and how you look on camera. It's it's wild.
it is. And um I love that the way you talk about and work with the body. It's not about letting your body stop you. It's more about listening to your body and helping yourself acknowledge what's going on in your mind and in your body, but then working with it
Mhm.
to be able to accomplish that goal that you're looking towards.
Yes, and I call that energy literacy. When we start being literate about how our energy operates in our own bodies and use that information to fuel us rather than let it hold us back, that's real power. That's really how we can all step into bigger, brighter, more expansive, more visible versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, pup.
She has no problem being visible.
She's like, I want all the attention all the time, please.
Yes. But being visible, that brings us to, you have this amazing opportunity coming up next week. Could you share about that?
Yes, thank you for asking. So next Saturday, the 25th at 8 a.m. Pacific time, I'm hosting a monthly movement experience. So if you enjoy this little tiny bite-sized bit of the work that I am so grateful to do in this world, I would invite you to join us inside of it. We're going to spend 90 minutes together inside of what I call a playground. And the playground is called Unscripted, because so many of us are operating from the scripts and the roles other people gave to us. And inside this playground, we practice putting down those scripts and being more ourselves, being more visible, practicing taking up space, because so much of our days are spent taking up less space, apologizing for the spaces we take up. If we run into somebody or we do something, our natural inclination is to pull back and contract when we're taking up space and apologize for ourselves. So in this space, we get to come together with other women who are going through these same challenges of wanting to be visible, yet something in their bodies is keeping them stuck, keeping them spinning, keeping them looping, keeping them over analyzing or being in overwhelm. right? We get to practice letting all of that go and be in a space where we can be seen by others, be supported by the energy of the group, and allow ourselves to. This month, we are practicing the sacred practice of visibility, because I truly believe that visibility is not a destination that you get to. It really is. We have to practice being in our bodies, allowing our bodies to feel safe and not contracted every time we're showing up. And yes, there's always probably going to be a little bit of fear underlying it. However, we need to be able to recognize it, work with it, use it, and still be visible and find the joy in showing up. And that's all happening next Saturday. I would love you all to join me. Renee's going to be there as my guest as well. She's going to be sharing more about an experience she has coming up about helping you to be more visible by really cultivating, crafting, and imagining a beautiful course so that you can share your gifts and step into bigger visibility in your world.
Yes, thank you. Yes, um, I am going to be running the course framework cohort again. Oh my goodness, the first round was I was inspired by everything that the students, the learners, achieved. Seeing these courses move from idea to being ready to go live. I really encourage anybody who is thinking about putting together a course, or they've thought about a course or a membership or some way to share your knowledge and make an impact. um, this framework and this cohort is all about meeting you where you are at in the course creation process. It is not about pushing you, it is about support and guidance. Our live sessions are more about conversation and collaboration than me lecturing at you, because I've never enjoyed just lecturing. I want to guide you. I want you to come to these ideas for yourselves, because that's when you can puzzle it out with a little bit of guidance, it sticks more. And that's what I love to see, is those aha moments coming out of conversations. So this cohort is really about a um, supportive framework. I like that word. Um, to help you move through the process without feeling overwhelmed, without feeling like you're behind. Young and I are both projectors, and sometimes, we move at our pace. We don't always keep up with everyone else. And so I don't expect anyone else I don't expect the members of my cohort to all be at the same place. We'll go through all of the steps, but the time it takes you, if it takes you a little bit longer, or if you're moving a little bit faster, that's okay. This is about meeting you where you are and helping you make sure that you can make that impact on the world.
What a beautiful experience. And when I hear you speak about what it is you're offering, and the ability for everyone to go at their own pace and meeting them where they are, that's so beautiful, because the world at large doesn't operate like that. Usually there's usually deadlines, and everyone has to be at the same place at the exact same time, and a lot of us feel pressure to keep up with that. So giving your students the freedom to be able to be where they are and get support where they are, I think that's such a game changer in this world. And I look forward to being in there and supporting in any ways that I can as well. And this event next Saturday is really in preparation for this launch, because once you can use that energy in your body, and you can use your body as a co-creator in this course and return to it every time there is a sticking point, like the two of these things merge so beautifully together.
They really do. Yeah. And absolutely. I mean, if you are having doubts, attend Young's playground, Unscripted, next week, to release those doubts and find your voice.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you want to join, just leave us a comment under this video. Reach out to me directly. Reach out to Renee. She can connect you to me. Yeah, I would love to see more of you there because I think the world so desperately needs people who are speaking up, using their voices for good, projecting more love into the world. And when you start stepping into your full beingness by reclaiming your voice that may have gotten suppressed over your life, and you really use it, like that is the change that we need to shift us into a different state of consciousness, a different state of being. So I would love to have you join us.
Thank you. Thank you, Young, for this amazing conversation and allowing me to come into your world next Saturday. And I hope to see so many of you there.
Thanks, Renee, for the invitation. Thank you all. And I look forward to seeing you all next weekend.
All right. Thank you.